logistic time constraints and having to go drop this trailer off in Waco is not going to be feasible. And even so, if we didn't have to do that, it wouldn't be feasible regardless, just because of the fact that the gates at El Paso close at 7 p.m. There's no after hours gate, so you can't get in anywhere. So we're kind of going to be stuck there waiting to pick up the trailer. Which means that we won't even actually be able to deliver to Holloman until around 8 o'clock in the morning, which I'm pretty sure is going to piss those guys off. But we'll see how it goes. So we're going to drop this trailer in Waco, and then we're going to bobtail up to El Paso, and hopefully we don't have any issues. So we'll see. But that's our route for today. It was an emergency run. Wasn't actually expecting to get anything today, but we did. So luck is on our side.
Pays up 3,500.
3,500. So it's good in our book. That means we made about a little over 7,000 this week on 2 loads, which isn't too bad.
2 loads, 4 days. 4 days.
Yeah, 2 loads in 4 days. So we've actually been sitting for like the last 2 days. We got home early, or actually late Tuesday night. And, oh no, 1 o'clock in the morning Tuesday night, or Wednesday morning. So kind of slept in. And then we had a load actually delivering this morning, but they pulled it back from us. It was a short run down to Camp Mabry in Austin. Only paid like $400, $500. So they ended up pulling that out from under us, and I don't know what they did, but who cares. And now we're being called to go to El Paso, which is cool because this is way more money in the bank. Show me what you drive. Money, money. Got anything else you want to say, babe? So be prepared to see some views as we're driving to El Paso. We should get some really good fuel mileage going that way because we're just bobtailing, and we usually get about 9 miles per gallon, which is damn good. So let's just hope we can get there as safe as possible without any issues and get the job done, as always. Dedicated to excellence. Deuces, guys. She loves running in that area. And that's her favorite spot to poop too. Favorite spot to poop. Let's go make these doll hairs, girl. You ready to make these doll hairs? I have 6 hours and 15 minutes on my clock. I'm talking about without a reset. So I'm gonna burn the rest of this. I'll burn it down to like 15 minutes. And then you could take over, which, so it says that would leave 3.5 hours. That means you could pick up the trailer and still have time to get to Holloman, and then I'll be I should be rested enough to be able to offload the trailer while you try to get some sleep. And then after that we can you know, just take our time getting back, because it's going to be the weekend anyways. Need to turn at this light. I need to turn at the other light, but I think this is the turn only lane for that. Okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
I kind of felt like she looked at us like, what are y'all doing here? She got that wide-eyed look.
Oh, because she knew we were going to
Yeah.
El Paso.
What's that highway? Come on, Google Maps. Stop acting an asshole, man.
What's one highway?
So it's making me go from Bagby to 36 again, so I just changed it to where I would go 6 instead of 36.
December 28th, I just jumped in the driver's seat. We are on our way to El Paso, then we're gonna head up to White Sands, New Mexico. After that, another like 80 miles. Delivering, we're picking up a trailer there, so we're bobtailing all the way from Waco, all the way to Fort Bliss. My wife drove about 8 hours, 9 hours, so we've got 3.5 hours to go, 238 miles. We'll get to Fort Bliss, pick up the trailer, then head up to White Sands. Have probably like a couple hours waiting for the escort. The escort is on base. We'll park in front of White Sands at the visitor center there. They'll escort us on. We'll start delivering at 4, and I think we have maybe like 2 stops there. Then we have to go to a satellite base, another like 60 miles down the road, and do our final 2 stops there, and we'll be done. Headed back on to Waco tomorrow. Be a good day. It was really good. It's another long run for us, and yeah. So now we're just chilling, trying to get these miles underneath us. Yes, sir. Look at that. Sun's coming up on them. That is just amazing. The White Sands, New Mexico, where we do a little missile testing here. Not every day you get this view, especially in Texas. Wow. Absolutely wow. Those mountains are beautiful. That is amazing. Well, that is that. It is Friday, December 29th. The trailer's empty. We picked it up yesterday at around like 2. Got up here early, was able to take a little nap. Got over 2 hours early, took a nap, and my wife offloaded. It was all palletized, so that was good. Most of it was palletized. The last stop wasn't, so she had like how many other people with her? Like 2 or 3 people working with her. 2 people back there working with her, and they didn't palletize. They were dollying stuff back and forth off their little crappy ramp. But we are empty. Money is made. Now we just got to head on back to Texas. We are in New Mexico right now. And probably gonna go to our own yard and park the trailer, park the truck, and go ahead and call the weekend. Hopefully get another load. That's it. All right. We are off White Sands, New Mexico missile testing grounds. Now we're on our way to La Cruces, New Mexico. Hit I-10 and then swing on down to El Paso. park at the TA, decide whether they're gonna eat first or sleep and then eat, whatever. Probably rest for a few hours and head on back to Dallas. But we're gonna go ahead and get some good views, good GoPro view of beautiful mountains.
What's going on, human folks?
December 29th. We're about to lose an hour.
We didn't just, but a few hours ago we finished offloading at our last stop. My husband drove us to El Paso, TA, so we can get some breakfast
Skittle Fiddles.
at Black Bear Diner at TA. Wasn't too bad.
Biscuits and gravy. Black Bear. Petro. Off the I-10. Horizon's exit 37.
Yeah, Horizon
Hey,
Boulevard, I think.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Pretty
Really
good
good
food,
sound. Very
good
clean.
service.
Great service. Awesome.
And now we are heading back towards, actually we're just going to go straight to the yard because we got another load for Tuesday. So we're going to park our trailer at the yard until Sunday night. And then Tuesday we'll be delivering to Fort Carswell, which is in Fort Worth. But as of right now, we're just driving on I-10, looking at these beautiful mountains. And wondering where all the illegals are.
To the Christians, do not be deceived. Stop thinking that everybody who waves a flag and shouts freedom is your friend and a good person, because we have people like this trying to join up in the movements. I found this out the hard way. I found it out the hard way. That not everybody is in things for the same reasons you are. I was in the People's Convoy, and what a fucking disappointment that ended up being. They were a bunch of grifting motherfucking live streamers that wanted to make money off of the people in America who were hardworking and sending their money, little old ladies, old men, people who had to wait for their paychecks so they could give a little bit of money to help people drive around and shout freedom and fight for freedom.
That's just a joke. No, but yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful mountains. Although it'd be great if there was like grass and stuff, but you know, this is the desert area.
These guys will live out here.
Yeah. It's insane. Yo, why did you get directly in front of me, man? So, as you can see in the video just now, I had this car merge directly in front of me, which is so dumb. Car drivers, you guys gotta stop that. You need to give space, because a lot of these newer trucks have sensors in the front, which makes us step on brakes without us stepping on our brakes.
Collision mitigation
It's
system.
called a collision mitigation system. It's a
On
pain
guard.
in the ass, and y'all gotta stop that, because it's so unsafe, because it can cause my truck to brake and the car behind me to run into my truck. So stop doing that, please. Y'all just saw it. Stop doing that. With that being said, just enjoy some of the scenery here, and we'll update you guys maybe a couple hours down the road. Nothing going on. We don't have a loaded trailer. Everything's done, and we're just going home.
Here's something that we want to talk about. These stupid Border Patrol inspections in America, that is weird as shit to me. You can't travel down here without saying whether you're an American or not. It's really weird.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, you would figure a Border Patrol inspection station would be
On the border.
but we're almost 100 miles or so into Texas on I-10, and then they have a Border Patrol inspection. Like, point of complaining that illegals are crossing the border? Obviously, because the fucking Border Patrol's not on the border. I mean, they're 100 miles into the goddamn state. It doesn't make any sense. Pretty idiotic, but who are we? It's just really, really funny.
It's ridiculous.
And like even so, and my husband and I talk about this every single time we do a load. Like, we're prior contractors for the military. We contracted in Iraq, Afghanistan, where you were in Japan, Qatar, you know, all over the Middle East.
All over the Middle East.
And we implemented the system that these bases utilized to get people on base, which is called DBIDs. In 2003, 2004, we implemented these things.
DBIDs.
20 years ago.
Identification system.
20 years ago, we implemented these systems. We held security clearances for well over 10 years. And some bases we can get on with no issues at all. And then there's some bases like last night at Holloman.
Are you on the ELA?
The guy wanted to be a little jackass, you know, high speed, low drag, scuba canine.
Brother. A young brother.
And he could clearly say that we have a government trailer.
We had DBIDs badges. We have DBIDs badges.
We have DBIDs badges for other bases.
Other bases, right. But we're already in the system.
And we're already in the system, but they don't want to let us in.
They still want to act like we're going to come in and whatever. And we in our binder, we keep all of our old passes. So if you want to see every base we've been in, you can see it. It's right there. We were just at Tyndall Air Force Base on Tuesday. It's Friday.
It don't make any sense.
And now on Thursday night, Friday, I'm on your base. That's an interesting vehicle.
Yeah, that's like a camper that they
Oh, well, you just put big tire. Okay.
Oh, it's a truck camper.
It's a truck camper, yeah.
It's a bed
I was
camper.
confused at it for a second there.
Alright, I gotta turn this down because I'm freezing right now. What are you doing?
Well, that's not turning down, that's turning off.
Oh.
We'll turn it off because the back part's still running.
Gosh, it's blowing on high.
Our only saving grace really is that we always run with the government plates, so, you know, really when they see us, it's like, what do you want? I mean, we're on official business. We have orders, so what do you want?
Right.
You work for the government, I'm contracted by the government, what's the fucking difference? We both have orders.
Yeah, we understand that people bring illegals in trailers and whatnot, but I mean, do you really think we're going to do that in a government trailer? We've dedicated our whole lives to the military. We were military brats.
We dedicated our whole life. Our parents, your mom has dedicated pretty much her whole life to the government.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for sure. She's been working overseas for
my dad, 22-year veteran. Then he went and worked for contracts that worked on military bases. He worked on secret. My dad had a above
top secret
TSCI, clearance.
Top secret.
He was working out. He was working out in Utah somewhere. You know, doing whatever he was doing. You know, he's a mechanic, so whatever he was doing, engineer. So, I mean, you know, all our lives, why would we? I mean, we've proved that we're down for our country. We are Americans. I mean, they don't get more American than me. Born on military installation, worked with the military my whole entire life.
I think I was born on Air Force in
Michigan. Yeah. So look, I mean, I'm born on a military installation.
Oscoda. I think there's a military base around Oscoda,
right.
Michigan.
I was born in Darnell. They don't get
Fort Hood.
They don't get more military than Darnell, Fort Hood.
Cavazos.
Yeah, I mean, it is Fort Cavazos. I get it. But I still got to stay with the whole Confederate thing, the Fort Hood thing. General Hood. Fighting for slavery. Maybe you definitely didn't take one because you brought those packets for us like 4 days ago. And we're just now taking. That's the way that works.
He don't have a hand on his dog at all. Are they waving us through or what?
Who?
These guys.
That's it.
So we got waved on through.
That's a checkpoint.
I was a white person, so they didn't suspect any
We
issues.
do that a lot. We always use my wife to get on through some places. Because they see me and red flags go up quick.
So yeah, and that's the thing too, is we've noticed that there's a couple of times, like, we went to the same base.
Yes.
And when he drove in, they immediately wanted the social security numbers and
that was in not Fort Polk, but the smaller the academy base.
Beauregard.
Camp Beauregard, yeah. Where they went inside, took my ID inside to run a background check.
Yeah.
They didn't do a background check and then on the Space Force in Colorado.
Yeah.
Where they did a background check on us.
But
no other truckers.
when we delivered to them again, and I drove in, they didn't do none of that.
None of that. Yeah.
But when he drove in, they made us do background checks.
Because I'm suspicious, my color.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean,
But the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding.
yeah, you can clear as day tell, like, if somebody's just being a racist asshole. Yeah, when people say that racism, get over it, whatever. No, we see it every day, especially as an interracial couple.
Yeah.
We see it every day.
No, our damn governors,
so ridiculous.
our governors in October 2022 or November 2022, one of those two dates,
John Cornyn.
They actually voted, and Ted Cruz actually voted against interracial marriages.
Yes.
Now it's lumped in with transgender or something like or gay couples, whatever. But interracial marriages, they were actually voting against us being together. Our senators. That's great. That feels real good.
Yeah. It's disgusting. And I just don't understand how you can any person or any human. We're humans. We're not colors.
We're not any race. Yeah,
you cut us. We all bleed the same color of red.
We shit the same. Everything.
We eat the same types of food.
Nourishments.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to just be an asshole towards anybody that has a different color. It doesn't make any sense. Do with your body.
We're the true limited government people.
Free folk.
Free folk.
We just want love, peace, and happiness.
I was just seeing on Twitter where Elon Musk was talking about, he made some statement about, like, immigrants and how it's an issue. He's talking about how it's an issue across, and the government should be doing more. But my thing is, you'll talk about the government doing less in one area, but then you want them to do more in another area. It's like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you want limited government or you want the government involved. You can't have both. And it just can't be what you want.
Right. And the thing is that with these billionaires and these companies, they want limited rules for themselves.
Right. But they want
how they deal business. But for others, they want max rules, and they want you to abide by this and abide by that. Like,
it's gonna put line in their pockets, put money in their pockets.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And if there's any of you truckers out there that I suggest listening to, like, NPR. It's very informational.
Planet Money.
It's just you gain so much information. Like,
I Doubt It with Dollamore, Brittany Page.
I just listened to an NPR podcast the other day talking about vacation days, and the United States is the only place that really doesn't want to give their people vacation days. In other countries, you get up to, with your sick time, your vacation time, and all, up to 3 months off a year. Like, why are we here? And we have billions of billions of sick time and paid vacation that people just let go, slide off their books
Because they don't want to lose their job.
They feel guilty for taking the time off. We got to stop that, because these companies don't give a shit about us. They don't want to pay living wages. We had the minimum wage for over 20 years at $7.25. Who the fuck can ever live off of $7.25 an hour? And now they're just now boosting it up to $15 an hour, the basic minimum wage.
It should be like 30.
And it's ridiculous, because that doesn't even keep up with the inflation at all, period, over the last 20, 30 years. It's just so much so much.
There's so much that we don't know,
and that we can talk about, really, that we do know.
And we don't know, you know, as a people, because, and I mean as a people, as human beings, because we have our heads in the sand, and we're told to just look in a certain direction and only would think one way. But if you really listen to everybody and form your own opinion, that's how you have to be. Case in point, if there's a people that are being oppressed and they come to you for help and you put them in cages, well, most of society, especially in America, we don't care. We'll let them put people from other countries in cages and they await a court date. But if you were running from somebody from one house to the next because there was some type of attack or something like that, and the neighbor put you in a cage, you would feel like you were being persecuted. That would be unjustified. But it's the same thing. If you're running away from somebody that's persecuting you, and you run into the arms of someone else that persecutes you, I mean, you're fucked. And that's what most people think when you're talking about immigrants coming across, illegal immigrants. They're running away from something.
Someone.
A bad situation.
Right.
And in America, we were born to think that, and raised to think that we were people who accepted everyone. You can't put people in cages and say the world's a better place. I remember working in Iraq on contracts and being on those military installations. I was on a military installation, small military installation off the Iraq-Iran border. And it kind of drives you back shit crazy because you can't go anywhere. Unless you're flying out there or on a convoy, you're not going nowhere.
Same thing for me being in Afghanistan. I lived in a plywood box.
Right, and you feel, and so
literally plywood box.
And that was us. We wanted to do that. That was our choice. Imagine being put in a situation where you're just on an encampment, you know, because you're running
without a choice,
running from somebody else, you know, and then someone else put you in a camp. Now we have the Governor Abbott. I mean, he's been our governor for decades, but talking about if you're suspected of any kind of illegal activity with immigration or immigrants, you can be arrested. So that means my
basically, if your skin color's brown, you can be arrested.
Yeah. Once again, like I said before in the video, I was born in Darnell. Born and raised, and lived and been amongst the government my whole life. East towards Dallas, towards home. And it was a long week, very long week. The week started off on Monday, on Christmas Day. We ended up driving to Tyndall Air Force Base. We had to bust our butts to be able to make sure that we could get that load kicked off. We then had to go to Mississippi to a camp called Camp Shelby, Troops Corps, and service them. Then we bust our butts back home and was able to spend a day where my wife went and did a little DoorDash and I did a whole bunch of sleeping. And then immediately they called us and said, hey, we need you to be at Fort Bliss right now. And this was like at 10 a.m. in the morning, and they needed us to go pick up a trailer and get it to New Mexico to deliver to two different bases, Holloman Air Force Base, White Sands missile something base. Anyway, so we just finished doing that. It's been about maybe 3,000 plus miles. And yeah, so it was a good week. Much appreciated week. We definitely needed it. It's been hard this last probably 2 months. Just no loads. So we knew that eventually something's gonna have to kick in. So thankfully we were able to get these two long distance loads, which obviously paid pretty well to where obviously we can you know, keep everything going. It is what it is, but anyways, it's December 29th, and we're gonna enjoy our weekend. We already have another load, but it delivers in Fort Worth, Texas at a joint base, JSV. It's gonna be an easy load, probably have to deliver to a couple expresses and a main exchange, and that'll be it. But it's an easy load. It's not going to take us anything. We'll go pick up that load probably on Monday morning, and then we'll go deliver Tuesday morning, and we'll stage it at our yard here in Dallas, and then go pick it up, and then go deliver it. So anyways, we'll see what happens going into the new year. Definitely this year was really, really tough. I feel sorry for Joe Biden because people are feeling the way we're feeling. I know people aren't feeling too well, and obviously our president gets all the flack, and he should get all the flack. He or she should get all the flack, because, you know, hey, you want to be in charge, you want to have that position. It's like anybody that's been in command knows, you got to take everything, the good and the bad.